All right, welcome back to Outperform. Here we go. So, in honor of my mentor passing away, I said I would release some videos on explaining a little bit more of the science behind my programs. So let's get straight to it. All right, so today I'm going to go over the intensification max strength protocols. All right, so what I mean by that, there is a specific amount of reps that need to be done per body part or muscle group or movement, whatever philosophy you follow, in order to create a neurological stimulation, okay? So everything is a neurological stimulation. I understand that most people get confused and they feel that we are building the muscle, and we are building the muscle, but it is a neurological effect that's happening, okay? Now, to help you better understand that concept, let's take a look at someone who's a beginner and someone who's worked out for the first time. They've never worked out, they just started working out, and let's compare it to someone who's been working out, say, for, I don't know, 10 years. All right, now, the guy in 10 years has maybe added, I don't know, 10 pounds to his max in a period of maybe a year or a year and a half, okay? Maybe 6 months, depending on some type of new protocol, new thing he's doing, whatever. But for some reason, the new guy, every time he goes to the gym, the son of a bitch gets stronger and stronger every single time, all right? Girl or woman, doesn't matter, all right? It's because their neurological system is inefficient, and so as they begin to keep lifting, it's becoming more and more efficient, okay? So when we talk about max strength, relative strength, absolute strength, we're getting to more of a very neurological intensification parameters, okay? So if your goal is always muscle mass and hypertrophy, we're gonna talk about strength. This is how to gain strength without actually putting on any muscle mass. Now, neurologically, this can stimulate you to gain more muscle mass, but if you have a broken ego, or if you feel that you are smarter than me or every other human person on earth who does strength and conditioning, you can go ahead and just turn off the video now, because we're not going to talk about getting big today. Okay, so for all the people who don't have a broken ego and who are willing to actually listen and do something with themselves, let's get straight to it. Okay, so when we do a workout, we want to get anywhere between 9 to 18 reps total, okay, for that session. So what I mean is, if we're working on squats, when we're done with the workout, we want to make sure we get into our log and realize that we got anywhere between 9 to 18 reps for squats on that day. Now, I don't care what freaking protocol you used. If you use 10 sets of 1 and all these other things, which I'm going to go over in another video soon, I'll give you a couple of different sets and reps protocols that you can use for maximal strength, relative strength, absolute strength. But whatever you choose to do, you need to accumulate at least 9 to 18 reps, all right, for that muscle group. It will neurologically stimulate the system. That way, the body can then begin to recover, and then supercompensation sets in, which means you come back stronger, more efficient. All right, now, the intensity, all right? The intensity means what is the percentage of the weight we're gonna be using. Now, in a perfect world, you could take all your lifts and go max them all out. Now, that is perfect, because 100% of a barbell curl is not the same as a 100% of a squat, chart-wise, all right? Remember, it's a starting point. It helps you understand where you're working at, okay? Now, also, I use RTM's, Rep Training Max, okay? And so to give you a little simple breakdown of that is, let's say your max is 300 pounds on squat. Take 5% of that away from 300 pounds, which should be, I think, you do 0.05 times 300. That's like 15 pounds. I think so. I'm very stupid at math. And then subtract that from the 300, and then that would be your training max. So if it says 100% for 1 rep, then it would be 15 pounds less of the 300, which would be 285, okay? So that would be, you're actually 100% of your training max. Okay, anyway, so fuck it. So intensity, we would be using loads nothing lower than 85% and most likely nothing higher than 95%. Now, I mean, obviously you can do 100% like we talked about, depending on if we're doing 1 rep, but if you're doing sets of 1, realistically, 100% is only gonna be done 1 time. You can't like just keep doing it, or it's not a fucking 100%. It's not possible. That's why we use RTMs, training matches. Okay, how much are we supposed to rest between those sets, okay? Now, this can vary from different people. Some people are very neurologically efficient. Actually, the more advanced you get, you might actually need more rest because you can stimulate more muscle fibers because you're so advanced. That's another talk. Okay, so we'll go from anywhere from 1.5 minutes of rest all the way up to sometimes 5 minutes of rest, okay? Especially if you are an Olympic lifter, lifting for Olympics, a power lifter, you're really trying to harness your craft, okay? You really need to work on the movement. So you're doing a lot of sets, low reps, but you're trying to get the quality of the rep very high. So you want a lot of rest to make sure neurologically your body is rested and ready to go. That way you can fire out as hard as possible on the next set, okay? So that's why sometimes you see very long rest. I think Charles Staley actually used to have 10-minute rests for his sprinters. So, and his sprinters are pretty fucking good, so. All right, how many times a week should I be working out like that then? Well, per week, per muscle group, movement, whatever, you can be doing that anywhere between 2 and 4 times. So, I know that sounds crazy, but you will see a lot of Olympic lifters lifting sometimes snatches or variations of snatches 4 times a week. 4 times a week. But they may be doing anywhere between 9 to only 18 reps, okay? So when you do 4 times 9, your accumulation factor over the week then starts to meet the demands that you need for your neurological stimulation, maybe hypertrophy methods, and so on for other different things. It goes on and on and on and on, okay? You may think that, Jesus, what the hell am I talking about? These are the different things that I've learned from Charles and from people like Ian King way back in '99 when I first got certified by Charles. I was blown away by the information. I was always misinterpreting the information in bodybuilding magazines because there were always these wonderful captions as like monster mass, super intense workouts, intensification hypertrophy, and they actually don't correlate. Intensification actually means the effort put in by the amount of weight moved, not the effort that you're actually trying to push into the gym, okay? Hypertrophy is volume and accumulation phase, and strength is an intensification phase by high intensity, higher weights, lower reps. So, I hope that breaks down a little bit for you. Stay tuned for my next video. If you have any questions, please shoot me a comment. If I made a mistake, please shoot me a comment. I'm human, I make mistakes. A lot of this stuff can actually be interchanged when you break the laws of weight training. But at the same time, I hope this helps you out and gives you a basic understanding of what's going on. I will actually do an in-depth video on sets and reps and protocols for people who are stuck in weight classes, such as judokos, BJJ guys, sambos, wrestlers, those people who have to stay inside their weight class, need to be stronger, but cannot get any bigger or gain weight. Thank you. Have a great day.